Hey guys, Alexa Dunn here, and welcome to my next vlog series, which is the second book, the next steps and edits, taking it all the way to the finish line. So I'm going to be vlogging my line edits, my copy edits, and later my pass pages. So in a nutshell, I already did 2 rounds of developmental edits, and my last vlog was my second round of developmental edits. Now comes line edits. So line edits are literally going kind of line by line on a sentence level of your manuscript and looking at usage and prose, grammar, continuity, like anything, that exists on a line level. Whereas in developmental edits, it was more like big picture, oh, this isn't quite working, come up with solutions. Then after that comes copy edits, which is the nitty-gritty grammar and also continuity edit pass, and then pass pages is when they send you like the version of your book that's all laid out like it will be in the physically printed copy, and you go through it with a fine-tooth comb. So if you watched my revision vlog, you'll know I turned in my book on September 17th. Today is September 26th. It is Wednesday. I got my line edits, part 1, 2 days ago. My amazing, hardworking, efficient editor got me my line edits in a week, so no real break for me. And she's doing my line edits in 2 parts, just as I turn in my book in 2 parts. So I have a head start on about the first 2/3 of the book, and then I'm getting the last third of the book next week, and I have until approximately October 10th to do everything, because then we go to copy edit. So it's being sent off to the copy editor. My copy editor is different from my regular editor. That's how it works. There are people who specialize just in doing copy editing because it is a skill and an art. So I got my line edits on Monday. I kind of took a look at them and I gave myself 2 days to decompress. 2 days for a reason. Normally I would only take a day, and the Monday I took the day because I had literally just gotten back from the Boston Teen Author Festival. I flew back to LA on Sunday, and to be perfectly honest, I was completely exhausted. I remain pretty tired, but at least I'm starting to kind of catch up on my sleep. And then Tuesday I already had tickets for the theater, and I also had to pick up my cat at the vet. It's actually really slightly tragic and stressful. My cat got really sick the night before I left for the Boston Teen Author Festival. It was so stressful. I had a moment of like, oh, do I have to cancel my trip? I took him to the vet, and it turned out that he was sick enough he actually had to stay there the whole weekend. So he was there the whole time I was at the festival. I came home and he had to stay at the vet a whole other day. He was there through Monday night, and I got to pick him up last night, Tuesday. And it's like the universe is conspiring to help me. I have to administer medicine to him morning and night every day for approximately 2 weeks. So it's like the universe saying, hey Alexa, you don't get to have nighttime plans. You have to go home every single night and be home every day in order to make your cat better again and work on your line edits. So now that I've had come my 48 hours to decompress, it's time to get started. So I'm going to do about an hour to 2 hours of work tonight, Wednesday, same thing, well, almost every day for the next couple of weeks. And that's not to say that this is like super duper intensive. It might not be that bad. I haven't gone through the whole document that my editor sent to me. But mentally, I am preparing myself for a decent chunk of work every day so that I don't slack off and procrastinate. I gotta dive in and do the work. Also because this is my last real opportunity to make substantive edits to the book. I can make edits and copy edits, but they prefer that you don't do too much craziness in copy edits because then it might need to be copy edited again, and you don't want to have that happen. And I'm already on a pretty tight deadline with this book. So this line edit is my last chance to really get in there, fix anything that is bugging me or isn't quite working. So I really want to dedicate the time that I have over the next 2.5-ish weeks to really making the book shine up like a diamond. So I'm gonna dive into that, and I'm really excited to do this vlog for what is kind of the less interesting or exciting part of editing, but I'm giving you a bit of a view into all of the nitty-gritty steps. My cat joined me. All of the nitty-gritty steps of getting a book published. That's the cat that's been sick. He's fine though. Teddy. Hi, Teddy. Oh, you're cute. Till next time. Hey guys, it is Saturday, September 29th, and I just got done working on my line edits. I am up to page 86, and my book is just shy of, like, in Microsoft Word, I think it's just shy of 400 pages, maybe more like 350. Point is, I'm making steady progress. I worked on it on the weekdays too, but honestly, on like a day-to-day basis, line edits are boring. So I really don't have to vlog as much, because the update's just always going to be, I did more pages. So I thought this would be a good opportunity early in the vlog to explain to you a bit more of what the line edits entail. And now that I'm a bit further, I have a better sense too, because line edits are always kind of the same, except there are slight variations kind of editor to editor of kind of what they're looking for and kind of, you know, what they're looking for you to edit based on kind of your writing style and their preferences and so on. So what I've been working on primarily, my editor thankfully has been pointing out continuity errors, like little things, places where the information conflicts, where I have someone saying something and she's like, oh, but on the previous page you said something else, or knowing what happens in the rest of the book, does this really fit? And I'm really grateful for those notes because, you know, it becomes so overwhelming drafting the book, revising it several times, and there are definitely cases where you've changed something and a line stays and it no longer makes sense. So those notes are super helpful for me. And then a lot of the notes are to help me kind of streamline the actual writing. So I love long, wordy sentences with lots of commas, quasi run-ons, you might even say. I definitely have kind of a conversational stream of consciousness style almost, and it's great because I kind of get locked into my writing style, as I mentioned, and my editor points out places where, like, oh, if you cut like this phrase or reword it slightly this way, it'll really streamline the sentence. So there's a lot of that going on, and that is essentially at its core what line edits are. You are fine-tuning on a prose, sentence-by-sentence level. So it's lots of little things. It's not a ton per page. Oh, and the other thing that I do a lot that my editor points out is repetition. So if I use the same word more than once on a page, she just circles them. Phrases too, like where the kind of rhythm of the phrase is too similar. She points it out to me so I can just make tweaks to the lines so that there's less repetition. Very helpful because, again, we all fall into kind of patterns in our writing, and we have crutch words and crutch phrases that we fall back on a lot. So my editor is pointing those things out so I can just refine everything on a sentence level. And so because of that, things are moving faster, which is really nice. When you're doing developmental edits, you might have to rewrite an entire scene. You're changing meaning and arcs and flow. But with line editing, it's just, oh, word choice, or this sentence could be more clear, or you're saying something in 3 sentences. I think we can condense it down to 1 or 2. So I'm on page 86. My goal for the day was to get to page 75, but I am going more chapter by chapter, so I finished a chapter, which took me to page 86. So my goal tomorrow, Sunday, is to progress 2 to 3 chapters, which should take me to like the 120 to 125 page mark. This will put me in a really good position to progress 2 to 3 chapters a day, every day, until I have to turn in my line edits. So I will update you the next time there's something actually fun and interesting to say. Hey guys, I actually feel really terrible because it is Sunday, October 7th, so I haven't done an update in a while, even though I did make some progress and I had something update worthy, and that's because I have been traveling. I just got back from the Texas Teen Book Fest, which was amazing, 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 and this is no shade to any of the other book festivals I've done, but so far, I think this one was my favorite. Like, there's just something about Texas readers. If you're from Texas, hi. Am I sucking up to you? Maybe a little, but no, seriously, like, just, there were so many people. I signed way more books than I expected to, which is always just so nice as a debut, because you don't expect anyone to know who you are or really care. And then, you know, I met people who like the channel and people who just heard about the book that day and bought it, and that was just really cool. But I went to the festival, you know, relatively stress-free because I got all caught up on my line edits on Thursday night last week. I did my line edits all the way up to the point where I could, because my editor had given me line edits on the first 2 acts of the book, and I got all the way up to there. I'm waiting for her to send me the 3rd act of the book, just basically the end, and then that's what I'll be doing over the next week, assuming I get it. I'm assuming tomorrow, Monday, I'm gonna get the rest of it, and then I'll just be chugging along to copy edits. I will do kind of line edits wrap up, talking about some of the actual things I did and things that I'm now more mindful of, essentially that I learned from this process. But for now, I just wanted to film that update that, yeah, on Thursday, October, was that the 3rd? 4th. On Thursday, October 4th, I got all caught up on where I needed to be with my line edits, so I did the thing. Yay! Hey guys, it is Wednesday, October 10th, and does that date sound familiar to you? Probably because it's supposed to be my deadline for getting my book to copy edits, but it is not my deadline. I did not ask for an extension though, it wasn't me. So my editor didn't end up getting me my line edits on Monday, as I said in my last video. I suspected she would. I actually got them Tuesday, yesterday, October 9, with a deadline of October 18 to finish everything up, which I think is really, really generous. I'm not worried at all about doing it because the last act of my book is like 100 pages, and I can totally do 100 pages in a week. This also gives me the opportunity to do some other things to the book because line edits are my last real opportunity to edit, as I mentioned in other parts, so I'm going to be going through looking for often repeated phrases and crutch phrases. I have a lot of crutch phrases and crutch words, and also, so right before I left for Texas Teen, I got a comp for my cover. Guys, it's amazing. You're gonna lose your minds when you see it. I lost my mind when I saw it, and you guys are getting a real exclusive that I'm talking about the cover at all. I haven't teased it on any other platforms because I honestly don't even know if I'm allowed to tell you that I've seen my cover comp, but I'm doing it here anyway. Hi. So the thing is, my cover has a thing on it, and the thing is really cool, and the thing was not in my book. Not in my book at all. And so I've already worked on the book to work this thing, this symbol, this item, into the book. And I actually love this edition. I love what I did. I've created, I'll tell you, one of the additions is to a dress. So I already had a dress in my book, which happened to be the exact color that they chose for the cover, so it worked out really well. And then I added this thing, this symbol, as an embellishment on my main character's gown, and like immediately like fan art is like sizzling in my brain. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be so cool. And the other way that I worked it into the book, I love a lot, and I can't believe I didn't have it there before, so it all worked out. So now my cover and my book are totally gonna work together seamlessly. So that was a really cool edit that I was able to do in line edits because I saw my cover comp early enough. So I hope that, because I've just seen it in early October, I hope that means that we get to do a cover reveal in like November, maybe December, because I cannot wait to show you. Like, when you guys see this cover, you're going to lose your minds. You're gonna lose your minds the way that I lost my mind. It's just so dreamy and romantic and enigmatic. I am so jazzed. So back to the grindstone on my line edits. I have basically a week. I'm not super worried. I'll work on it this weekend. I'm gonna kind of go through it one more time with a fine-tooth comb just to make sure that there's nothing in the book that kind of is driving me like a little crazy, that I'm worried about, that might embarrass me when the book comes out, since I want to really limit the edits that I do in copy edits and past pages. So that's where I am. I will film probably at least 1 to 2 more updates for the line edits, and then you'll be watching this video. Hey guys, I want to share with you what I'm doing now with my line edits. So something that I do a lot is I have some serious crutch phrases. I know I do it, but as I'm drafting and even revising, I kind of let myself fall onto those things because it's easier just to do that so I can move forward. And I haven't done this on my previous books, but I knew that it was necessary in this one. So I did some Googling and I found this really cool thing. It is a phrase frequency counter. So you can pop your entire novel in here and then you pick the number of words in the phrase you want to search. I ended up searching, I did 7 and then I kind of worked my way down. I found that like there was little difference between 4, 5, 6, and 7. It kind of caught most of the same phrases, but I did a search and then I pulled out the things that I thought were quite egregious and I like just pulled them out into like a little document for myself. I got all of these from the site. You can see like the different words that I did. And then these are words that I know that I overuse all the time. Like these are serious crutches for me, that I know I have to go through the book to look for. Like people laugh all the freaking time in my book. Lots of groaning, lots of sighing, lots of smiling, looking. Wonderful filter word right there. The only good thing is that my characters don't roll their eyes as much as they used to because, you know, writing is a process. Oh, there's the cat. But yeah, so then I've been going into Word and I've been searching for these oft repeated phrases and I can just then click on them where they are and rewrite some of them. And so far it's been going really well. I've dealt with, I couldn't help but laugh. That one was in my manuscript 4 times. I got rid of 2 of them or I rewrote 2 of them. And then, you know, there are other ones where it's like, oh, why did I closed my eyes and 5 times in this manuscript? And I checked them and none of them were like repetitive in the sense that they were kind of filler transitions. It was actually functional every time I used it. So I left them. And same thing with the pit of my stomach. I had a couple different usages, but they were all a little bit different. So I left them. Oh, my breath caught in my throat. Gosh, I used that one a lot. So it's been really useful so far, just kind of going through and rewriting and deleting them, kind of challenging myself to phrase things differently. So that is what I'm working on right now. I'll link down below to this website, really helpful. There's the phrase frequency counter, and they have one for word frequency, so you can just kind of see which words you use a lot, and it's going to be a lot of saids and a lot of your character names, but you can also catch some of the other ones that might be crutches in your work. Guys, it is Saturday, October 20th, and I did that thing again where I'm total garbage and forgot to record for 10 days, obviously. But I turned in my line edits 2 days ago on October 18th, my due date. Everything went really well. So this is just a bit of a post-mortem for what I did and some of the things I learned. And I actually realized that I never told you or showed you one thing that is kind of distinctive about this line edit process. And that is that line edit process varies. So on my previous line edits with my last editor, she did track changes on a Word doc, which is pretty standard, but my current editor likes to do it old school. So I thought I'd just like show you. So she prints out my manuscript and does all of her line edits by hand on the manuscript, and then she scans as a PDF. So this is like what one page looks like. So she writes on the page and uses proofreading marks, so I know what she wants me to change, and she puts notes in the margins. So that's how I like did this line edit. And what I learned from the line edit. So what's really valuable every time you're going to be doing line edits with a different editor is that you kind of learn something about your writing style or writing tics that you have or crutches that you have, depending on kind of the sensibilities of that editor. So this editor was really sensitive to certain things that I did in my writing, especially in my dialogue, that taught me, hey, I love to use ellipses to have people trail off, and I like to use ugh a lot. And the lesson was that all of those things should be used in moderation. My editor wasn't crossing out every single one, but she would note when I was repeating things on a single page or over a span of pages. Same thing with repeating words, that's pretty standard and normal, but it's always really useful to hear from an outside party like, hey, you use this reaction a lot. And that's how I started to really look at my crutch words, and as you saw in the previous part, I was looking for those repeated phrases. So that was really useful for me because I think now, having gone through this line edit, I think the next time I draft, I'm not going to make the same mistakes. I'm not going to automatically default to some of those phrases. And I mean, you do that every single time you do intensive edits on a piece. Like, I remember when I used to write fanfic, he rolled his eyes and like cocking eyebrows was something I did all the time, and then you just do way less of that when you realize how melodramatic or cheesy it is. So really useful process to kind of look at my writing in a new way and refine my writing, and that's what line edits are. You're refining your writing. Also nice, I managed to cut like 3,000 words, almost 4,000 words from the manuscript, which is always good to kind of get the word count down. You're tightening, you're making it more readable, which is good. And that's it. Next, I'm on to copy edits. And copy edits is a fun experience. I'm going to vlog that as well, because copy edits is kind of a mixed bag. You never know what you're going to get because it depends on your copy editor. And I don't know if I'm going to get the same copy editor as last time. My last copy editor I thought was really great. She seemed to vibe with my writing style, but helped me kind of clean up some things, and she caught some continuity errors. So I loved that copy editor. I'd love to get her again. We'll see. So this is my line edit vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know down below in the comments any questions you have about the whole process, how it works, what's coming up, what's behind me, and I'll do another vlog for copy edits as well. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, so I know that you want to see that video. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that. I post new videos 2 to 3 times a week all about process and kind of my publication journey and the nitty-gritty of the publishing industry. Thank you so much for watching, and as always guys, happy writing, and if you are in the editing cave as I am, happy editing.